Good morning, grade 4 students, and welcome to a new English lecture. This is lecture number 5, week 24, semester 2. What are we going to do in this lecture? We're going to identify the usage of simple past tense. When do I use simple past tense? Form the verbs in simple past tense correctly. There are some rules that we need to follow. Differentiate between regular and irregular verbs. Now, this lesson cannot be found in your practice books, so you have to refer to worksheet number 3 that is uploaded on the application. So first we have usage and the meaning, and then affirmative form, and then the negative form, and then the interrogative form, just like the present tense. So what do we have here? When do we use the simple past tense? When you use the simple past to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. So if let's say that this one here, this time happened in the past, and this time here is now or today. This action happened in the past. It happened here and it ended here. So it ended in the past, okay? Not today and not in the future. The action happened or started and ended in the past. This is very important. An example, for example, played, danced, helped, ran, ate. So as you can see, I have here words with ed and these words without ed. This means that these are irregular verbs. Here I have dreamed with ed, cleaned, studied, ied, went, irregular, and came, also irregular. What are some common time expressions used with the past tense? There are some keywords in a sentence that will guide you in order to know when did this happen, occur. For example, in 1980, like this is a long time ago. Last month, okay, last month, last day, last weekend, last week, last year. Ago, like long time ago. Yesterday. Yesterday is a keyword that this action happened in the past. Or probably last week. Or even last year. For example, I saw Maria yesterday. Here I have the word saw. Saw is the past of see. Okay? And yesterday is the keyword that gives me a hint when did this action occur. Last Friday, the students took. Took is the past of take. These are all verbs in the past, okay? Took is the past form of take. So last Friday, the students took their spelling and vocabulary tests. These actions are over, finished, started, and ended in the past. So how do we form the simple past tense? Every English has two types of verbs in the past. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are the verbs that simply take ed to the end of the verb. And this one is really common, just like play, played, walk, walked. Now, irregular verbs, these are verbs that change completely or they stay the same in the past tense, okay? And some of them, they change only one vowel letter. For example of verb that changes completely, I have go becomes went. See, all the letters have changed. Everything have changed completely. Some verbs, they do not change at all, like put stays put in the past. So put in the past stays put. Okay, and we have, for example, like come. This one is the base form of the verb. Became or it becomes came in the past. What changes in this verb? Only the letter, only one vowel letter. For example, so as we said, regular verbs are verbs that end with ed. For example, walk becomes walked. Now, we have to be careful with words that end with a consonant plus y. You already know this rule from the present tense, right? When we have a verb that ends with a consonant plus y, I cross the y and I add I. Instead of y becomes I, and then I add ed. So study becomes studied, cry becomes cried. When I have a word or verb that ends with e, I can only add letter d, so it becomes ed, as in live, lived. Now, there are rules, as we said, to add the ed. For example, if I have add ed or just d, if the root means the base form already ends in an e or a consonant. For example, if I have type, it ends with e, I only add d. Listen, it ends with a consonant, so I add ed as usual. Push, it ends with a consonant sound, so I only add ed. Now we have two more rules. If I have a one-syllable verb, what do you mean by one-syllable verb? It means it's like when you say a word as in tap. So when you tap, you make one clap, tap, okay? But if you say, for example, think of a word that has two syllables, let's say visit. So you say visit. So this word has two syllables. Okay, this is a difference between one syllable verb and two syllable verbs. If you have any question regarding the syllables, please tell me during the Zoom. So if I have a one syllable verb, as in stop, so stop, one syllable, stop. Or plan also one syllable. Or rob is one syllable. And it should end with a consonant, then vowel, then consonant, as you can see. Consonant, letter T, vowel, letter O, and consonant, letter P. Okay, also here consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. When I have one syllable word with consonant, vowel, consonant at the end, I should first double the last letter and then add ed. I cannot just add ed as in type or listen or push. I should double the last letter. So stop becomes stopped. I double the P, the last letter. Plan becomes planned. Rob becomes robbed. Okay, so these are few examples. If I have a two-syllable verb, as in travel, see, travel, these are two syllables. Listen, listen. Cancel, cancel. Okay, so these are, or this one can be can and then so. Okay, so these are two syllable words. Travel, listen, cancel, two syllable words. When I have a word with two syllables, okay, and they have a consonant, vowel, consonant, just like here, vowel, a consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay, again I have a consonant, vowel, consonant. Also here consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay, so let's repeat. Two syllables, consonant, vowel, consonant at the end, and the last syllable is not stressed. Okay, we only add ed. For example, travel, traveled, ed. Listen, listened, ed. Cancel, cancelled, ed. Now, what do I mean? Everything looks normal, but what do we mean by stressed? If I take, for example, the word refer or prefer, okay? Refer. This word has two syllables, right? Refer. And it ends with consonant, vowel, consonant. However, one of these letters or the second syllable is stressed. I'm saying refair. I'm stressing on the other syllable. Refair, refair. So when I have a stressed syllable, I should also double the last letter and then add ed. Okay? However, if it's not stressed, like travel, travel, I'm not saying, for example, travel. I'm not stressing on the second syllable. Or listen, I'm not saying listen or cancel. It's cancel. Okay? I'm not stressing on the second syllable, so I do not have to double the last letter. I just add ed. As I said, if you have a two-syllable verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, okay, as we said, prefer, two syllables, it has consonant, vowel, consonant. However, the second syllable is stressed. The last syllable is stressed. Okay? Prefer, I'm stressing it. So I should double the last letter and then add ed. Prefer or refer. If a verb ends with a consonant and then y, as you know earlier, cross the y and then add ied. Notify, consonant, vowel, consonants, then y, sorry, the y becomes I and then I add ed. Supply, cancel the y, make it I, then add ed. Also, you know this rule, you should be familiar to this rule. When you have a play, I have vowel, then y. If you have vowel, then y, then you only add ed. Betray becomes betrayed. Play, played. Look at the following list of past tense verbs. What verbs are regular and what verbs are irregular? Taught. Taught, what do you think? This is an irregular, okay? This is the past of teach. It is the past of teach. As you can see, most of the letters have changed. Second one, I have played. The base or the root form is play, and then I added ed. This is the regular form. Carried, carried. So it was carry with y, and then I added ed. So this is also regular. Here I have gave. Gave is the past of give. So one letter is a change to I. I mean the I changed into A. So this is irregular because the original is give. Became. Became just like gave. Became is the past of what? Become. So only one letter has changed. So this is irregular because it doesn't end with ed. Kick. This is the root word. I added ed. This is regular. Printed. This is the root word. I added ed. Regular. Did. This is the past of do and does. So this is irregular. Irregular verbs. These are verbs that do not end with ed. Maybe you cannot see it because it's in white. They do not end with ed. These are the irregular verbs. Because we solved a question, an exercise before, and we concluded that irregular verbs are verbs that do not end with ed. Some irregular verbs have a vowel change, like as I told you, come, came, become, became, give, gave. Let's see some examples. Become, became. Give, gave. Drive, drove. Forget, forgot. Okay? Some irregular verbs change completely, like teach, taught. Bring, brought. Leave, left. past of hear, heard. Past of buy, bought. For example, Celia bought a new computer last weekend. Some irregular verbs do not change at all, as I showed you before, put. Let's have more examples. Hit stays the same. Put. Set. He set the table. For example, the children set the table every Sunday. This is present. Or I can also say the children set the table last night. Let's do some exercise. Put the verbs between brackets into the correct form of simple tense. For example, last year I spent my holiday in Ireland. So this is last year. Spend. What is the past of spend? Of course, it's not spended. It's not regular. This is irregular. Becomes spent. It be great. What is the past of be? Was or were. It depends on the pronoun that I have. I travel around the city by car with 2 friends. Okay, so I travel. All these happened in the past. Travel. This is the base form of the verb. I should add only ed. Becomes traveled, because this one is 2 syllables. Travel. Okay, and it's not stress. Travel. So I only add ed. And we visit lots of interesting places. So also visit, 2 syllables. But it's not stressed. Visit. So I only add ed. Lots of interesting places. In the evenings, we usually go to a cafe. What is the past form of go? It is went. We be. Just like here, it. Be, we said it was. Now here I have we. We is in the plural. So we, what is the past of be in plural? Were. We were very lucky with the weather. It did not rain a lot. We see. What is the past of see? This is irregular. So, some beautiful rainbows. I have an amazing holiday. What is the past of have or has? Have and has, they have one past, which is had. Just like do and does have one past, which is did. What is the negative form? The negative is when you add not to the sentence. Did not or didn't. Plus the verb or the base form of the verb. Like you say, I did not play. Okay, not played. I went to work yesterday. This is the main sentence. Now I want to make it in the negative form. I say, I didn't go to work yesterday. Okay, so the word went, I bring it back to its what? Base form before it becomes in the past. I went to work yesterday becomes I didn't. I should add the negative, which is didn't or did not, and then I use the base form of the verb, and then I continue the sentence. Now, except is verb to be. Verb to be is really special. I do not add to the sentence did not or didn't. I use the verb. I use verb to be in the past. If I have was or were, I just use them with not. Not means a negative. Okay, for example, I say I was not at the show. If the sentence I was at the show, I only add not. I was not at the show. Let's change the following sentences from affirmative to negative. I drank coffee in the morning. How can I make it in the negative? I should add did. Remember? So I say I did, And then what is the negative? I did not. And then I bring drank to its base form, so it becomes I didn't or did not drink. Not drank anymore, drink. Coffee in the morning. She was at the bank yesterday. Here I have verb to be, so I only add not. Okay? Becomes she wasn't or she was not at the bank yesterday. Jamie ate all the biscuits last night. I do not have verb to be, so I should add did or did not. Did not or didn't. So Jamie didn't eat all the biscuits last night. I cannot say Jamie didn't eat. No. The verb in the past should be returned to its base form, eat. Interrogative form. There are different ways to form the questions. Interrogative means question. We have yes or no questions. I use did plus the subjects. For example, did I or did you? Plus the base form. Did you eat? For example, I have did you go to work yesterday? As we said, so the sentence is, for example, you went to work yesterday. And now I want to ask, I want to make it a question, so it becomes did you go? It's very important that when you have did, the verb in the past goes back to its base form. Did you go to work yesterday? Or did you come yesterday? Did you visit us, for example? Also, because verb to be differs from did, so I have verb to be and then the subject, like was he playing, for example, or the rest of the sentence. Were you at work yesterday? Were you at work yesterday? So this is verb to be and then the subject, then the rest of the sentence. Was she at the library yesterday? For WH words, these are the WH, where, when, why, what. We use the WH word plus did plus the subject plus the base form. It's very important, the base form. For example, where, WH plus did plus the subject plus the base form. This is a rule. Where did you go yesterday? Or when, WH plus did plus subject plus the base form. When did you come yesterday? Let's do some exercises. Change the following sentences from affirmative to interrogative to questions. Okay, now as we said, we have yes or no questions. If I have yes or no questions, I use did, and I have the WH questions, WH words. Number one, I drank coffee in the morning. I can make it, I can use yes or no, I can use the WH. For example, I can say, did I drink coffee in the morning? The answer will be yes or no. When did I drink coffee? The answer will be in the morning. Okay, so there are two correct ways. Second one, she was at the bank yesterday. I have verb to be, so this one is easy. I can just flip them. Verb to be plus the subject plus the rest of the sentence. Was she at the bank yesterday? Jamie ate all the biscuits last night, so I can use a yes or no question or WH. For example, did Jamie eat all the biscuits last night? Or what did Jamie eat last night? The answer will be biscuits. This is the end of our lecture. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you understand it very well. We will discuss it more in details during our Zoom sessions.